We have to be visionary about our city and about where do we want to see ourselves in 5 years, 10 years down the road. It's not what people are chattering about right now because they don't have the ability to have a vision. You're all leaders. You want to have that vision for where do you want to see the city in the next 5, 10 years, over the next generation, so that when people are thinking about coming to this city, they look at all the things we have to offer, and that includes great schools, not just good schools. We have great teachers. We have great, people who are running the school, but we need great facilities too. And that will make our job so much better. It's easier to look at this school and go, oh, it's fine, even though it's not. We know it's not. But once you get that new school, I'm telling you, it's just going to be such a game changer for this city.
I believe it'll be transformative.
And you're right. And we deserve it. We deserve it. We pay a lot of taxes to the state. We have good kids who go to this school and in our entire school system, and that's why we want to fix all of our schools. But these kids deserve it. They deserve a 21st century learning environment, not a 1971 learning environment that they can't learn in.
Is it fair to say here and in public that a pool will be guaranteed as part of the plan?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I've said it before, there will be a pool.
Okay, can't be any clearer than that.
Well, yeah, I think it's important because there's so much confusion and a lot of community feedback.
And a lot of
we can't
things,
do without pool.
we try to do as much as we can to be transparent and get the message out and get the word out. But, there's going to be people who are going to spread rumors, false information. You know how that goes. By the time you hear it, it's so wrong that there's nothing, it doesn't have any resemblance to the truth.
I've talked about a 50% reimbursement of the pool since we passed the bill years ago. And it's sometimes a matter of people listening or people who don't want to listen and create controversy where there's none exists.
I think I call Ralph more about this building than I think any other building in terms of accessibility points for the students, because we're a one-to-one district and the students can access the technology at the rate that other buildings can at different points throughout the campus, which is a huge challenge because this form of learning is not going to end, and we still continue to problem solve through all of these challenges, and it's just very hard to find the right balance because the cement walls just inhibit the transmission of Wi-Fi across the different access points that are set up throughout the building.
To be honest, if you walk into our elementary schools, our learning commons are much more upgraded than this one right here. And when we looked at it, just even the layout, the way it's set up, you've got all this concrete. You want to get as much open space as you can and flexible space. You usually have an area for presentations, you have an area for maker spaces, you have an area that actually allows you to bring in technology when you need it.
You'll hear me say this a lot, is that the stage is not ADA accessible. So if there was a student who could not walk up those stairs like we do during candlelight, there really should be a seat and a ramp to get kids, almost like you see in a pool, to get kids up there, students up there, but we don't have that right now. On the second floor, and even over here where the students learn how to do lighting, up there in the lighting booth and the sound booth, none of that is ADA accessible either. So, you got hundreds of students at the same time trying to get their lunch. Mr. Roberts aptly said, kids shouldn't have to spend half their lunch period trying to get lunch. And that's what happens here. This has been a leak forever, and the reason why this was painted over a few years ago was because of the accreditation, so that when the accreditation people came through, they didn't notice a leak because that would ding us of points.